Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Georg Mack Plays the Classics. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you in A Nightmare on Elm Street. Kids are dying in their sleep and no one has a reason except for natural causes. But that's not what's really happening. Freddy Krueger is back to terrorizing the neighborhood and must be stopped at all costs. Go through 7 levels picking up all of Freddy's bones so you can dump them in the incinerator and destroy his presence for good. You take control of a teenager and can be joined up by up to 3 others for simultaneous play. I watched James and Mike Mondays to get an idea of what 4 players look like. It looks like a fight among friends waiting to happen. You start on the street in front of a house that is inaccessible despite how long you press up. As you run along to the next house, there are enemies in your path. You could punch them with the B button or jump over them with the A button. You're honestly better off jumping over them most of the time. Once you find a house, you have to remember to hold up long enough to run in. This is where you need to do a bunch of platforming. Scattered about the level are a number of Freddy's bones. You need to collect them all to move forward to the next part of the level. Other than bones, you can find a cup of coffee to refill your sleep meter. There are also 3 other icons showing a runner, yin-yang, and mage hat that you want to collect. The platforming is a bit of a chore in the real world, but if you let your sleep meter tick all the way down, you head into the dream world where Freddy is lurking. You can switch among 4 different personas in the dream world. Besides your normal self, you can become an acrobat, ninja, or necromancer. The acrobat allows you to jump high, run fast, and throw a javelin. The ninja becomes your MVP despite the shuriken having a short range, because when you jump, you throw a flying kick. The necromancer launches fire magic across the screen and can hover a bit when jumping. The hover is important in later levels. If you spend too long in the dream world, the music changes to the Freddy rhyme, and at the end you must battle him one-on-one. Beating him allows you to wake up and continue your quest. The end of each level has a piece of Freddy as the boss. There isn't really much variety to the bosses. The first 2 are on a chain and you have to avoid his attacks and respond with your own. The others bounce around the screen in a set pattern and can drop enemies. Trying to fight the boss in the real world is challenge mode. You're much better off going to the dream world and gaining powers. The final challenge is a boss gauntlet before you take Freddy on like you do when you spend too long in the dream world. When it comes to grading A Nightmare on Elm Street on NES, graphics get a 2.5. I think it looks pretty good overall. The bones sometimes blend in with the backgrounds. Sound gets 2.5. Music is good enough, especially the Freddy rhyme, and sound effects aren't terrible. Gameplay gets a 2.0. The character is really floaty and weak in the real world, but is much more fun to play with in the dream world. Difficulty gets a 2.0. The levels aren't that difficult. You get a generous number of lives and continues. Attrition can get you though. Fun factor gets 2.0. I didn't hate my experience of fighting Freddy. Overall, A Nightmare on Elm Street earns a 2.2 and gets a C+. For an LJN game, it's not that bad. I'm not saying it's good, but it's quite playable. Well, that's going to do it for me for today. Please make sure to like this video. Let me know what you think of A Nightmare on Elm Street in the comments. And please subscribe to Head Drop Productions here on YouTube, because we want you here for each and every video we release. Because it is your destiny.